Shine Value Farm family, welcome back to another episode of The Farm. If you are new here, you are most welcome. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and also turn your notification bells on not to miss out on any videos on the channel. And of course, to all our returning subscribers, you guys are gems. You guys are our favorite, of course. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Today is a very beautiful day. We are back at the farm. It's a new week. It's a Monday, and we are happy to be back at the farm. Everything looks so good. We had a heavy downpour last night, but nevertheless, we love it because we need the rain for the farm. Well, there's a lot we are going to discuss today with you guys. Of course, you guys love what we are offering you guys on the channel, sharing our journey, sharing our experiences at the farm. And we really love to share everything with you guys because you're part of this family, guys, you know? Yeah, I have my co-director on standby as well, who is going to say hello to you guys and also introduce himself.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Grafton, also known as Gregory, but I prefer Grafton if that's okay with you guys. Yeah, we're back at the farm, and you know what? Since we've started this series of actually trying to get you guys to think differently as farmers, I think a topic that both Tina and myself decided that we wanted to kind of cover with you guys, because I'm sure you guys always hear the number one reason farms either succeed or fail is due to poor or proper management, right?
Sure.
But we wanted to actually encapsulate exactly what that means. And also the main focus of this actual video today was to discuss risk mitigation and risk management at your farm.
Some of you have really requested us to know like how we manage the farm, how we mitigate risks at the farm, how we reduce losses at the farm. There's a lot that you can definitely do at the farm. When you talk about management, it's really broad, it's really wide, and it involves a lot of things. Let's talk about how you are going to plan activities at the farm as a team. You have to work as the owner of the farm with the people on ground, communicate well with them, put schedules, put the right system at the farm.
So let me give you guys a more specific example, right? So for example, if you know you're gonna raise chicken, now you're raising meat birds, right? So even before the meat birds are ready, right, you should already have a plan in place, whether you're physically there, right, or not, right? You always want your plan as a manager, as the owner of the farm, in communication with your manager, in communication with your overall staff, to literally be a willing testament, basically, to represent your words, your deeds, even in your absence. So for example, you not only have to have that plan verbally communicated, but your best friend is to make sure that it's also written. Because what tends to happen a lot of the time when you have several people working with you from various backgrounds, from various levels of education, not everyone will comprehend what you tell them just verbally. And sometimes it's a lot tougher to hold someone accountable if it's just a verbal request. But when you have that actual instruction in writing, it's much easier to hold both the manager and subsequently the workers at the farm to that standard, right? So it's one thing to say, hey, I need X, Y, Z to be done. But then when you have it back up by the actual documentation, you have something to point back to. Because when people mess up, they love to point the fact that, oh, you didn't tell me A, you didn't tell me B. But when it's in writing, that's irrefutable.
Exactly.
So that's a big part of it. Now, the one thing I wanted to actually also point out to you guys, when it comes to this, I know this is not the sexiest topic in owning a farm, but it is one of the most important, right?
Crucial.
You need to understand a penny saved is a penny earned, right? And what does that mean? It's much smarter on your end to make sure that when you go into production of your animal, when you start to replicate and you start to duplicate your flock at your farm, even before that starts to happen, you need to have a plan in place. Your treatment plan needs to be written and be given to your management team. Your staff also needs to be familiar with what signs to look for. You know, because the best experience at times is hands-on experience, right? They need to know, like, okay, when I see a goat not eating all of a sudden, loss of appetite, they're moving around slowly. What might that be? You know, the signs, the telltale signs are like, oh, there might be an issue here. Let's isolate this goat. Well, like, what's the process, right? Your part of your herd staff noticed that one of your goats, or it could be a cow, just not behaving the usual way, the same level of energy is not there, the appetite is not there, what process do you have in place? Number one, isolate the animal. Number two, immediately communicate that to the manager. Number three, make sure before anything is done, even before the vet is called, that you as the owner
As
has to
first aid.
know,
Yes.
be aware of what's happening, because the last thing you want to do, because we've actually experienced, this is from experience, guys.
Experience what we have here.
Without having that plan in place, you might have a manager at your farm that think they're doing you a favor by not calling you to bother you with such menial stuff in their brain, and then wait till that animal is almost at the point beyond return prior to communicating that with you. And at times, they'll wait for that animal to die.
To die, then they'll communicate.
Then
later.
they'll, you know what, sir, we lost a goat today. Oh, we lost a calf today. And in reality, they're thinking they're saving you money on your vet bill, when really you could have spent, you know, a minuscule amount of money to actually help identify, fix, you know, possibly come up with a cure and a treatment plan for that animal, versus losing a cow that might actually cost you anywhere between like $400 to $600 USD.
That is so
You know,
true.
you might have just spent maybe $5 or $20, right? So when you think of it in these terms, it's okay to actually be involved to make sure that you know that you get to make that final decision. Because guys, at the end of the day, there's human nature, right? Some people, as you know, in your workplace, some people are there for a paycheck, and some people are there working in these nonprofits because they have the heart, they care, they want to help out their fellow men and women. And it's the same thing at your farm. You're going to have some of your workers that are just absolutely in love with animal husbandry. They want to be around your animal. They want to be at the farm. They want the fresh air. They want everything that comes with being a farmer or being a part of a movement, right? And then you also might have somebody that could be at the highest level at your organization. They might put on a good show when you're there.
True.
But in reality, you never really know that person's heart. So if you don't have that in place where they know, you know what, if this occurs and there's an emergency, this is the protocol that we follow. You just call the play and it happens, right? And so that's something you really need to look out for, because you know the last thing you want to happen, you make it to the farm and your favorite goat is missing. That happened to me. Okay? And then the last thing you want to happen to you, you know, we actually have a calf that's alive at our farm today because we put these plans in place.
True.
Because that same manager that used to let animals die and tell us after the fact, and we're not discussing Mr. Charles, so that we're clear, right?
I know.
We actually
most of you come for us.
prior to hiring Mr. Charles, right?
Yeah.
That same individual literally would have waited for that calf to die. And in reality, this is a calf that costs, it's a Frisian calf. You're talking an animal that costs almost 900 USD, right? And it almost died because this person would not have called us to spend $30 to get the vet to come out to actually implement the treatment for this particular calf. Luckily enough, we had this protocol in place. They followed the plan, and the calf is now
healthy.
A heifer, is healthy, and is doing well. But that's also $900 that we saved.
That is saved.
We earned that $900 because now that cow is ready to conceive, to then continue with the program at the farm, and continue to contribute to what we're trying to do here as an organization. That's just one example.
That is so true. The way we've trained the staff at the farm right now, at least with the protocols that we have so far, everything is moving in so well so far. We should really admit to you guys, because for us to come here to share with you guys what is really happening or what you guys should also do, it's because we've experienced it, we have done it here, and it's working.
And we've taken our lumps.
Exactly. So things of training your staff, do not wait for the vet, at least do proactive actions before you call the vet. That is also good enough, but you should also communicate to your bosses. That is one of the things that you need to instill into your workers out there. Then also you talked about like record keeping. Like you have so many animals. If you're a mixed farm and you have maybe goats, you have cows, you have rabbits, all that. Sometimes if you don't keep your record, sometimes these people take things for granted. Like when they go in the field, like if you have a free range kind of system, like goats free ranging, they go in the field, they don't take records, they come back, maybe some of them remain in the bush and they don't count the number of animals that come back at the end of the day. That is going to cost you a lot. So as long as you instill to your workers that they should always count when the animals are in and when they're getting out of the house, that is going to save you a lot, and that is going to help you as a company. You're not going to lose so much, because if you take it for granted, you're going to lose animals day in, day out. And this is at your own cost, not at the workers. The workers will just come giving you excuses, telling you, oh, we went grazing, we don't know where they disappeared. And those are excuses you don't want to hear as the owner of the business. Then let's talk about getting the breeds. The breeds are some of the crucial things that you need to really focus on as a farmer. Because if you get the bad breeds, if you get like pigs, let's talk about pigs, and you go for the local pigs, maybe you go to your village, you see maybe the pigs and they deceive you, these are large whites, yet they're just maybe white in color, you don't know the genetics, they don't have the record still, you buy these breeds cheaply, take to your farm, you're feeding them so much, you're investing in too much feeds, you're investing into the workers who are going to work for you, you're going to lose so much. At the end of it all, these pigs are not growing, they're not giving you the best litter that you need. That is going to cost you as a farmer.
You guys, you know, you invest in animals that you purchase, you invest in the land that you purchase. You also need to make a concerted effort to invest in yourself.
True.
You have to take, the onus is on you to actually educate yourself, to go to different farms, to visit people that have actually been in the field longer than you, to take your time. Don't go to YouTube just to watch your favorite singers or your favorite American Idol contestants trying to compete. Go to YouTube, look at documentaries. You know, the easiest thing I can tell you guys, you know, go to University of Texas A&M, pull up the published papers, right? They'll actually, there you can find published papers that actually talk about genetics and crossbreeding and how they actually, you know, have, you know, identify and isolate ways to enhance the different genetic lines in pigs and different type of pigs that you should consider crossing and why. You know, I'm just giving you guys one example, right? It's up to you. Because let me tell you guys the easiest way they take advantage of your lack of knowledge. So most people here on this beautiful continent, particularly here in Uganda, when you go purchase pigs, they're going to tell you the local pig that they cross with a large white, you know, boar is a pure large white.
Yeah.
And that's not true. So it's going to look like a large white in complexion. It's going to look like a large white with some of the characteristics, but unless you know
exactly
the physical characteristic of a large white, unless you can just look at it and notice like the ears and the snout and the length of the pig and the overall height of that pig, what it's supposed to look like, what the body composition is supposed to be.
Okay.
You're going to go home with what you think are large white piglets. You're going to feed them and you're going to wonder, you know, these pigs are now 9 months old. Why do they look like they're 4 months old?
They're not growing.
And by the time you get to that point, you've already lost.
True.
You don't want that to happen to you. But the most painful option for those of you who love goats, because we love goats as well,
yes,
is when you go buy a male boar, and that boar might just be a 50-50 cross. It might look like it's closer to a 75 or 80+%. And in reality, that boar has only been crossed once. But you pay the price for an 87% boar. That's a difference of $250 to even $300, sometimes $400. And guys, the only way you're gonna know this is by, number one, educating yourself. Make sure, even if you're working in a corporate gig and you're a corporate farmer transitioning to being a full-time farmer, it is your responsibility to be on the ground at your farm, other farms, at least 1 weekend out of the month if you have the time. Load up the kids in the car, go visit a farm near you, go visit a farm in your neighboring town.
True.
Because you want to know what's on the ground. You want to understand the new breeds that are coming into your area. You want to make sure you get out of your comfort zone, because unless you get uncomfortable, you're not growing.
True.
So the idea here is get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Because the more you do that, the more you grow, the more your knowledge base, the more your knowledge base grows, right? It becomes one of those things like breathing. You know you need it. you do it, you don't think about it,
True.
but it's essential to you being alive. Well, if your financial well-being is important to you, you want your knowledge base to be at a level that you don't want your employee to know more than you.
Yeah.
You almost want to become a pseudo vet, right?
True.
You want to learn. If you're keeping goats, try to learn everything you can about goats. If you want to just focus on pigs, you do the same thing. And the best way is to do that by being around your animals, checking out other animals
as well.
other farmers, read whatever you can find, watch whatever documentary you can find from reputable sources.
True.
And of course, the more you on the ground, the more you do it, the easier it will get.
Yeah, that
right?
is so true.
And so the more you know, the more you save, the less you lose.
That is so true.
Right?
Personally, I've really learned so much by being around the animals because before, of course, I had the knowledge, I'd done the research, but being with the animals, you learn how they behave, how they feed, all that. The interaction with the animals is really very important. And even the passion even comes automatically, by the way. Let's talk about another point, which is storage. This is some of the things that people really underlook. Storage of your feeds.
That is paramount because you know what, guys? Maize at times can be affordable. It depends on where you are. But then there are times during the season, I can tell you guys right now, the actual rainy season are back. We're expecting maize to be available in abundance within the next few months, right? But during this stretch where maize is being grown, the price of maize has doubled in price, right? So now what you have to think about, if you spend your hard-earned cash, you're talking at least $300 for a ton of maize, right? And then that $300 turns into a half a ton because you're not storing your maize brand properly. If you don't store it properly, what happens? The rats are gonna get into it, and that's a very, very fast way. By the time you get rodents at your farm, you're flirting with disaster because that's the quickest way to get not just the animals sick at your farm, but even your staff. You understand? Because those critters carry some of the most vile diseases known to mankind. Not all of us have the money to have the silos built at your farm. You get that. If you don't have a silo, invest in the silo bags. Because let me tell you something.
That has saved us.
A $5 bag can save you a lifetime of heartache, a lifetime of financial losses.
True.
Because you know what? When you spend that money to get your maize there, you've done your mix, you've mixed your feeds, you know how long it's supposed to last you. The last thing you want to do is wake up the next day, you go in a batch and you have rodents swimming in your feeds. And then on top of that, some farmers out there will take that same feed and feed
give to the animals.
And what do you think happens?
You're going to lose the animals as well.
The animals most likely will get sick and you'll have a trickle-down effect from that. So the best way to mitigate that loss, invest in silo bags.
We've showed them.
They're cost effective. They actually work. I don't know how they make them. I don't know where they come from, especially. But you know what? They work.
They really work.
That's been a huge help for us because number one, it keeps the feeds from rotting, right? Because they just have to be stood up. Aeration is nice airflow. But for some reason, the rodents cannot get to those bags. And we don't have rodents at the farm anymore. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Let's talk about security. I know we've talked about this over and over again.
Security is everything.
Everything.
Because let me tell you guys this, and again, there are levels to this, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you're just starting, you have your 2 goats, your 3 goats, believe it or not, even at that stage, you have to think about how to secure your animals because thieves will come for you. They will come for your 2 goats. They'll come for your 3 goats. So you need to understand before you even make your first purchase, where are you going to keep these animals? Is the area, do you have a secure area? Do you have trusted neighbors? How far do you live from other people? And you never know who's watching you, who might be looking and making sure that they identify you as a mark. They watch your habits. You know, do you have a backup person? Do you have a plan to make sure you keep your animals safe? In our case, we've been very fortunate. There's been many robbery attempts at our farm.
True.
But we have armed security. For a time, we did not. But then we quickly realized if we wanted to keep both our staff and our animals safe, fencing was not going to be enough. That we needed to have armed guards on the ground 24 hours a day. And believe me, one of the best investments we've ever made was to make sure that we have the presence, that these guys are here. They're always vigilant. They take their job very, very, very seriously. And it's been a godsend for our farm.
That is so true.
But we also understand not everybody have that in their budget.
Yeah.
But if you are able to, we would strongly urge that you try to work that into your budget, especially when you want to go to the commercial level.
Basis, yeah.
Okay, because let's face it, guys, some parts of this country, some parts of where you are, the thieves don't just come for the animals. Sometimes you might lose your life. Sometimes they might attack your farm workers. So you know what, the last thing you want to do, you have people working for you. They're your responsibility. You know, the staff is also part of your family. They're part of your flock as well. Yeah. And you owe them a certain level of protection.
Yeah, true.
So that's a very, very good point for us to actually look into. Yeah. Make sure you protect your staff. Make sure you protect your animals. Protect your farm and protect yourself. Yeah, and of course, security starts with you, starts with your workers as well. Everyone has to be very vigilant on the farms. I know most people, we always tell you guys, start small but think big. Most of you might be thinking, what if I have a small farm? How should I do it? You can also start with the guy with the bow and arrow. So that can also help. If you have fewer animals at your farm or even in your homestead, you have at least to have security. The structures can also be your security where you can be able to lock properly. Make sure they're very secure enough that someone cannot break into easily. That is some of the things that anyone out there can do. Yeah. Yes. I think those are very, very key points. Yeah. But guys, here's something else that you guys might not think about, right? Capital management, right? Capital management is not just in terms of money. It's also human management, right? Because when you, as a business owner, most of you are probably thinking to start your business, you just need to invest in your structures, your animals, your land, and you're good to go. In reality, the best investment you can make is in your staff. True. You know, granted, you might spend the money to send your lead herdsmen or herdswoman to get additional training at whatever school, at whatever other farm, training centers, whatever training center, and they go. You're still paying their salary, you're still paying for their training, you're still paying for their lodging, and you imparting that knowledge on that person, and there's no guarantee they can literally come back from the training, collect their bags, and go elsewhere. But that's a part of being in business, right? You take chances every single day. But let me tell you something, the more you arm your employees with knowledge, with training, the training that will, again, serve them for a lifetime, right? Even if that investment serve you for 6 months or 9 months, and hopefully you treat these people well enough that they stay with you for the next 10 to 15 years. Because everybody we bring to Value Farm as one of the staff members here, we don't hire people for the season. Yeah, no. We hire people that we hope that are going to be with us for the next 10 to 15 years. So we come into it with that mindset, with that heart. We invest in our people, we train them, we send them out. And of course, we do the same thing for ourselves. Yeah, we try to educate ourselves as much as possible. So that's something you have to also think about. It is crucial. Very crucial. To make sure that your staff is trained even beyond your knowledge base. True. Because let's face it, talk about loss prevention and mitigation. The farm hen at your farm that's properly trained will help you reduce on your vet bill. It's a lot cheaper to pay $150 to send somebody for training for 3 to 4 days versus you having to vaccinate 1,000 goats that might end up costing you over $2,000, right? So you have to choose, you know, the best approach that's going to work for you and your farm. But by the same token, that's a key factor that most farmers miss because they don't plan for it. So you have to plan an account for that too. That is so true. Wow, I think you really had. Guys, we want to just keep it brief, sweet, and precise for you guys so that you guys can be able to, you know, comprehend everything that we've discussed today, because we don't want to talk so much and you guys lose track. So at least those points are enough. But in case you also have some other points that you would love to share with everyone, please leave them down below so that we can definitely also learn from you. And also, guys, the last time, I think the last few videos we mentioned how to get in touch with us on social media. Yeah. Our numbers on Instagram is still looking pedestrian. I want to thank the 200 or so of you that have followed us on Instagram. Yes. Please follow us on IG, follow us on Facebook, because you know what, guys? not every day we can put up a video, but on Instagram we're
Instagram
very
at least.
active. On Facebook we're also very active.
True.
Plus you get to see the behind the scenes stuff. You know, you don't want Value Farm to have 200 followers on Instagram. People don't take your account seriously until you have
Yet we have 70 of you here.
You know, 70,000+ on YouTube.
Plus.
But the reason we wanted to do this is to make sure that we can keep getting information to you guys.
Yeah, true.
Both through the standard videos that you get here and of course to the other means of communication.
Yeah, that is so true. So follow us on Instagram, that is Value Farm UG. Then also on Facebook, it's Value Farm, but you can search for Value Farm UG still. You can find the page. Follow us there, share with your friends and family, like the pages, and also leave a comment for us, of course, because there at least we can be able to communicate easier.
Let's be fair here, right? You guys understand this. We do our best to bring you guys the topical information, the information that's going to help you in this endeavor in farming, right? But please be mindful. Some of you guys are expecting us to literally be giving you a step-by-step guide off of this information that we record and we put out there for you. If you feel you need or you require additional help, you can always schedule an actual consultation, because some of the questions you guys have are so specific. Answering it in the comment is not going to be enough.
It's not.
That would be doing you a disservice.
That is so
If you feel like you need additional help, it's okay. Tina's here for you. I'm here for you. The whole Value Farm family is here for you. You know, you can always just reach out to Tina or myself.
Yeah.
Schedule some time, and we'll make the time, and we'll be more than happy to give you an hour or 2 hours, whatever you need.
That is
right?
so true.
That's a fair way to be to the rest of the fan base, because we can't just isolate one person and do videos on every single topic in such a detailed fashion. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, we still have a business to run. We want to help you, but also time, as you know, is a finite resource. So if you need additional help, we're here for that as well.
True.
Just keep in mind there are other ways we can actually help you with that. So we do offer consultations, so keep that in the back of your mind as well.
Yeah. So just contact us. And of course, people who have been telling us, I want to visit the farm, guys. The farm is getting ready for you guys. We are working our best to make sure that everything is in place.
Cottage 1 is almost complete. That's what I'm going to say.
Yes, it's almost. Others are coming up. We are working on the biosecurity. As you can see where we are, the farm is behind there. The beautiful farm is waiting for you guys. But let's make sure we put everything in place properly. Then we come. Of course, we shall keep you posted when you come here. When you're about to come here, we shall still let you guys know. So do not worry. Do not say that, oh, you guys just don't want us to come to the farm. Please, just be patient a little bit. We are setting up everything to standards. That's what you have to know. But we appreciate everyone who has really been here from the beginning of the video up to now. We love you guys so much. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I know most of you are watching the videos, but your button is still red. Please just click on that red button to subscribe. It is free of charge. You're not going to be charged any money to just subscribe, or even share to your friends and family. And of course, I appreciate people who have contacted me in person telling me, I've shared your videos with my friends, I've shared your videos with my family.
Such an honor.
It is just amazing. It makes us really so proud and also motivated to even come, to even give more content for you guys, because we want to share everything. We're not selfish people. We want to share all the knowledge, how we are doing things right here, the bad and the good, so that you can know, so that in case you're really motivated to start farming, you know what you have to find in this field. And of course, people who have already joined, bravo. Guys, thank you so much. We love you so much. Please share these videos with your friends, and so don't forget to like the video, because once you like the video, it's going to be recommended to other friends. And last words maybe before we end. Do you have anything?
Listen, guys, you have been amazing. And again, I always say this, I am not a front of the camera type of person. I think this is the most I've ever been in front of a camera. I'm most comfortable sitting in a boardroom, coming up with plans, coming up with ways to try to improve what we're doing as an organization. But, you know, the encouragement I do get from you guys has been phenomenal. The love and support has been tremendous. So for that, from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. We appreciate you. We value you guys. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have.
Yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.